Hi, and thanks for logging on to the daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Thursday, 28th day of May, and the 5th day of Sivan. It's Erev Shavuos, and I want to tell you a couple of laws that we could just jam in here that we haven't discussed yet. First of all, just for my fun, no, Shavuos is not the holiday of cheesecake. People have made like a whole religion out of cheesecake, and um, just to put it in perspective, there's no such thing as any command in the Torah that thou shalt eat cheesecake. I think you all know that. But let's just get to the source. Basically, there are many reasons why. I'll just tell you like one of them, why there is a custom to eat dairy foods on Shavuos. One famous one is because this was the day that we got the Torah on Shavuos, and the day that the Jews got the Torah, they suddenly were thrown like 613 commands that whoa, and all of a sudden they realized the meat, the way they had been preparing it until then, was not really fully kosher, and now their pots were treif, and they couldn't really cook up any of their meat. So on that first Shavuos ever, they had to have dairy, and in commemoration of that, some say that's a reason that we have dairy on Shavuos. Now, cheesecake is a popular dairy food, tastes real sweet and delicious, and so it became a custom to eat that, but there's no thing in the Torah. You knew that. It's just like a nice custom that grew out of some hints to milk. I'll just tell you one more real quickly. The word chalav for milk, in gematria form, ches is 8, lamed is 30, and base is 2, which adds up to 40. Moshe was up on Har Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights getting the Torah. And so chalav is an allusion to Torah, and so we want to eat dairy and other things like that. Those are reasons why we will have dairy. Now, an interesting thing, especially because some of us, at least wherever you're listening from, some of us are not back in our shuls yet, and we're at backyard minyanim. So please make certain that when you daven your Maariv on the first night of Shavuos, that Maariv occurs after nightfall. You see, because God told us that we were supposed to count Sheva Shabbosos Tamimos, that we were supposed to count 7 full weeks. Well, it's only considered 7 full weeks if the 50th day, which is Shavuos, happens after the end of a full 49th day. And therefore, don't start your Shavuos with the Maariv of Shavuos night until it's for sure fully and totally nightfall of Shavuos night. Okay, ladies, when you're lighting candles, you'll say a Shehecheyanu for the candles like you would do on any Yom Tov. And that's going to apply also to the second night of Shavuos because of the candle lighting of the second night of Shavuos, which also happens to be Friday night. So you have to make certain to light those candles before it is sunset, because you're not, although we are allowed to move a flame from an existing flame on Thursday night when it's Shavuos, but we're not allowed to do that on Friday night when it's Shabbos. Incidentally, this is just a trivia piece of information for you to note. We're having 2 days of Shavuos, which means we're not reading a regular parsha this Shabbos. However, in Israel, where they only have 1 day of Yom Tov, they're reading a regular parsha this Shabbos. So Israel will get ahead of us by 1 parsha, and that's not going to be equalized for a number of weeks now until we do have a double parsha on a week when they're not going to have a double parsha. But that's not happening right away. It's going to be a number of weeks off. So just note, not that a lot of us are doing air travel these days, but just note that Israel will not be reading the same parsha as us, because as we go into this 2-day Yom Tov, Israel is going into a 1-day Yom Tov that's attached to Shabbos. But on Shabbos day, they'll be reading the regular portion of the regular parsha. Okay? Have a very meaningful Yom Tov and Shabbos, and I hope to give you another halacha on Sunday after Shabbos and Shavuos. Have a very meaningful Shabbos and Shavuos. Bye-bye.